Today we are going to start our first chapter of history, that is nationalism in Europe. As we know, in Europe, that time there were different countries. In all the countries there were kings who were ruling. It means it was a monarchy. Then what happened? People protested against their king and they made their own government there. Okay. So this type of stories are there in nationalism in Europe. So in 9th class we have studied your first story, that was nationalism in France. So firstly the people of France they protested against the government and they made their own country republic. So now based on that this chapter is also there. Okay, so let's start our nationalism in Europe. So students, let's start the first topic, that is French Revolution and idea of nation. As we know, France was the first country in Europe which protested against its king and made it as a republic. Now, after the French Revolution, there were certain changes which came in France, and that changes that when other people in Europe, in other European countries, when the other people came to know, they also thought that the people in France, they are getting certain benefits by protesting against their king. So why should not we also protest against our king and we should also get those benefits? So the other people in Europe, they also protested against their king. That is nationalism in Europe. Okay, so now firstly we'll see what all changes came firstly in France when they made themselves as a republic, which you have already studied in your 9th class. So after French Revolution, when France became a republic, people got certain freedoms. Number one, French people, they got fundamental rights. When king was there, that time they did not have fundamental rights. So after they made their country a republic, they got fundamental rights. Number one. Number second, they got right to property. Now they became the owner of their property. Previously, it was not like that. Any person who is holding a property, it can be any time taken by a king without any payment to them. So they got that benefit. So they got right to property. They got right to life. Previously, they did not have any right. Means any time they can be killed and they cannot protest against that. But after the French Revolution, they got right to life. Okay, their life cannot be taken by any person, not even the king. So they got right to life. Then they got certain benefits. Then they got their own representative government. That was the first time after French Revolution that people of France, they voted for their representative. They had a democratic type of system. So where they voted, so they got voting rights. They got a representative government where a person from them can come on the higher position and can make rules and regulations for them. So they got the representative government. Apart from that, the businessmen they also got various benefits, like they got systematic rules and regulations. They got a proper administrative system. So these were some of the benefits which the French people got after the French Revolution. Then what happened when these all freedoms which French people got, when these ideas spread in rest part of the Europe, the other people also realized that under the king's rule, wherever they are living, they are not getting these freedoms. So why don't they protest against the king and they may get certain types of freedom which the French people are getting. So the other people in the Europe, they also protested against their king. And in this way, the revolution which started in France, that spread in rest part of the Europe. So this is your first topic. And I repeat that this topic is important for your board exam purpose. This question is generally asked in your board exam from this first chapter. So this French ideas you have to remember. Now next topic in this is Civil Code of 1804. To understand this, let's go first to your 9th class. In 9th class, when you have studied French Revolution as your first chapter of history, in that class you might have seen that Napoleon Bonaparte, who was their army general, he took control over France and declared himself as Emperor of France. Now from that, after becoming the Emperor of France, he made certain rules and regulations, and these rules and regulations were considered one of the best rules and regulations of that time. So the rules and regulations which Napoleon Bonaparte made after becoming the Emperor of France is known as Civil Code of 1804. Now, in this Civil Code of 1804, there are systematic rules and regulations. Now, some among them are: number one, systematic rules and regulations for the businessman. One. Number second, systematic rules administrative system. Systematic weight system. Because in Europe that time there was no systematic weightage system, there was no systematic currency, there was no systematic measurement. Like later on in this chapter we will see the measurement system in Europe was not same in every part of the Europe. It was different at different places. So Napoleon Bonaparte made that weight measurement system as proper. He removed the unnecessary tax system which was there. He also abolished the benefits which people were getting just because of birth. Like the people, those who were born in rich families or royal families, they were given certain benefits. So he removed all those benefits. He made systematic tax system which was not there. So these all were the rules and regulations which Napoleon Bonaparte made. This is only known as your Civil Code of 1804. Now, out of the first 3 pages which we have seen, these two are the important topics of these 3 pages, and I would also say that these 2 topics which I have completed, they are commonly asked in your board exam. Now, we will see only 3 questions which are commonly asked based on these 2 topics. First common question is which is asked, what are the French ideas which spread in rest of the Europe? In that you will say the first part which I have taken. Second question can be asked, when France sneezes, rest of the Europe catches cold. Now in that also you have to write the French ideas. Now third question you may be asked about the Civil Code of 1804. In that you may get a statement. Napoleon destroyed democracy, but no doubt he did remarkable work in administrative field. Like this way you may get a statement, and in that you have to write it down, the Civil Code of 1804. So these were the main 2 topics of first 3 pages. I hope you understand.